anybody unless they have a question. But I think that's an awesome thing that you're doing. And yeah.
I'll tell you my story. I'll tell you my story.
Well, you know what though? You just feel free if you want to tell your story here tonight.
Oh,
or
no.
Is it a
no, I'll personally tell you my story why.
Okay. Because, you know, we love that personal stuff. I tell my personal business all the time.
Miss Liz, you're a whole mess.
I know.
But I'll give a brief, I know you're going to do a brief little bio, but you can, I'll just reiterate the experience.
Okay. Now everybody's on now and they can see you so that we can see you biting your nails.
It's a hangnail. It's a good one. You ladies know we haven't been able to get our nails done.
Tell me about it. My feet. Oh my God. It's a good thing I sleep by myself. I catch somebody.
You're ripping sheets. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Well, I'd like to see some faces. Can I see faces?
Hello, my name is Kathy.
Hey, Kathy, how works? Can you guys turn your cameras on? You know, when I do stuff, I like to see your faces.
Can you see me?
I see you. I don't see Naomi, Sherry, Regina, Roslyn, Mary, Kay.
Going on.
This is Sherry. I just moved and I can't find my camera yet in the boxes.
You're in a box?
No, I just moved. I can't find my camera in the boxes yet.
Oh, you can't find your camera.
Not yet.
Oh. I'm sorry. Hey, Latoya.
I'm gonna go out, Liz, and see if my photo will come up. You
Who
think
said
that
that?
might be it? That's Terry.
Sometimes you have to push that start video.
I did that.
Oh.
Nobody wants to see my face.
Well, we want to see your faces, but if you don't want us to see your faces, there ain't nothing we can do.
Going on and just that was the one on from one bedroom.
I'm gonna go out and come back
title
in.
company on so two computers. So and it was just
Hi, Dan. I'm Liz.
Hi, Liz. It's very nice to meet you. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to see all of you guys. But I just happened to talk to Dan this morning. We just met this morning. So that's why I got so excited to see him.
Hi, Liz. This is Deborah Kennedy. I'm trying to get it where you can see my face, but anyway, I'm on the phone.
Okay, Deborah.
Hi. I did invite my daughter this time, so she's out there somewhere.
She's out there somewhere. What's her name?
Nicolette.
Nah, Nicolette didn't sign on yet.
Hello.
Yes, she did. Yes,
she did. Yes, she did. Oh my
Hello.
God, Deborah, she looks just like you. She's just as beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Nicolette, I understand you coming to class.
Yes, I want to learn.
Well, you don't want to, you know what, you want to learn, but you're going to be learning in order to serve people.
Absolutely.
But you're making some money while you're doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to make some money while we serve others. Okay, it's 6:59. We've got quite a few people still signing on. It's 7 o'clock. Quite a few people who are, it's still growing a bit, but we're going to go ahead and start. And Antoinette, I must tell you, I think you've got the biggest crowd that we've had on these Zooms. So somebody want to hear what you got to say.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask everyone to mute their mics. unless you're speaking. And if you have a question or you have a comment, you just unmute your mic and then state your question or your comment, and then put yourselves back on mute. Because as you can tell, earlier when we were all talking, it was like we were at a backyard barbecue because we were all talking at the same time. And we have a tendency to do that. So, oops, and I keep going to reducing my screen here. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. So I still hear somebody's mic. Kay, could you put yourself on mute? And I just tried. Hey, Regina, I just tried to put you on mute, and it did something funny. So I want to do that. So I still hear a lot of background noise. So let's make sure that we put ourselves. Ashley, can you mute yourself, please? There you go. There you go. All right. So we're going to get started. And I have the pleasure of introducing Antoinette Conley. Antoinette was raised in New Jersey, and she has that sassy New Jersey, New York attitude, y'all. So anyway, she relocated to Texas in 1988. She began her career in title as an escrow assistant to a high volume team at Chicago Title, which is a nationally known title company. She then moved to a career-defining role as an senior escrow officer, regional manager of DFW operations, and now serves at the as the Dallas escrow officer, Dallas escrow operations manager for Making Partners in Real Estate, which is called MPR. I'm trying to turn my phone off because I hadn't done that. There we go. She is the Assistant Secretary for the Dallas chapter of NARAB and the Chief Operating Officer of Gigi's House, a nonprofit organization catering to senior citizens. With 18 plus years of title and escrow experience, Antoinette has a proven track record for success. Her mission is to empower, cultivate, and to share her years of knowledge about title and escrow with realtors and their clients, and now with notaries, okay? I just added that to your bio. And we'll be discussing Title 101, what they do, and the need for notaries to be present with their local offices. She's going to tell us what MPR title is looking for in a preferred notary. So we got 38 people on here right now, and I know some others are coming. So if you want to be a preferred notary for a title company, more particularly with MPR, which is growing by leaps and bounds, you need to listen to what Antoinette has to say. Antoinette, take it away.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you guys this evening. Thank you so much, Miss Liz. Just want to give you just a quick caveat. I have 3 dogs, so if you hear dogs barking, they're mine. So I'm sorry, and they're old. But first of all, just thank you for joining this evening. I'm glad you guys came in. I didn't get to see everyone's faces, but hello. Like Miss Liz said, I've been in the business 18 years. I started at the bottom, guys. I started 18 years ago with Chicago Title. I was a receptionist and worked my way up. I worked for a dynamic team of women who were very, very strict on getting the job done. This is when we didn't use notaries for anything. We only closed between the hours of 8 and 5. So if you couldn't make your closing appointment, you just didn't close that day. Closers didn't stay after hours, guys, to get anything done. unless we were preparing for the next day. Just think, in 18 years, we need you more than ever. We need you more than ever right now. Not only just with COVID-19, it allows us as escrow officers to do our daily work and not be in closings. So the number one thing that I think is very important is making sure that you guys have a great relationship with the title offices that you want to work with. Some of your offices don't look like mine. Some of them are going to be high-end, high-volume offices. I work at a very smaller office, but I take value in my notaries, especially the ones that take value in me, and the people that work for me. So it's very important that you check in. We need to see your face and we need to see your name. If I call you for a job, please, please, please issue a little transparency. If you can't do the job, we don't need a story. Unfortunately, I can't do it today. Do you think your client will be able to do it at 4 o'clock? Give me alternatives. I will typically ask for a window of time. I will never call you at 4 o'clock and say, can you do a 4 o'clock closing? No, that will never happen. But what I would like is, if I call you and you can't do the closing, or you can't do the signing, let's just say signing, just for this purpose. I hear somebody talking.
I'm going to mute them. Keep going.
Okay. If we call you for a signing, and the signing is at 5 o'clock, and it's 4 o'clock, and you're at the grocery store, you're doing your own personal things with your family, it's imperative that we have that type of relationship where you can say, Antoinette, I can't do it at 5, but if you can hold them off until 5:30, I'll get it done for you. That's very important. Give me some alternative, because if I call you, and this is one of those things that most notaries don't understand. If I call you on the first job, you've reached out to me. I see your name, you're calling, you're checking in, you're doing all the things that you need to do to forge those relationships. And the first time I call you and you say, oh, well, I'm at the bank. The first thing I say, and I tell my staff, don't call her again. Don't call him again. Your personal life is your personal life. We want to make sure that we are leaving that information off the table and we're getting the job done. This is a business. I want you guys to succeed. I want you to have all the notary business that you can get. I want you to forge relationships with great escrow officers who have been in the business and who go to you as their number one. Being a number one notary is a full-time job, just so you know.
Antoinette, may I ask a question right there?
Sure.
Well, if you call me and I'm at the bank, or I'm at wherever I am, I would say, I mean, I didn't hear you say a specific time. It's like if you call me and say that, let's say it's 10 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, I have one that needs to be done at 12. Depending on what I'm doing, I may not be able to accommodate. But what I would do is to say, okay, I can't be there at 12. Can I do it at 2? Is that acceptable?
That is acceptable, but what we want to make sure, and this is just me personally, as a senior escrow officer, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. When I call my notaries, because I have relationships with those notaries, I will always say, what is your schedule today? I almost work my clients around my notary's schedule, okay? But if I don't give you a time, we are pretty much open, and I want you to be open as well. But your personal stuff has nothing to do with me or the signing. So we want to make sure that we have those kind of conversations until we get to the point where we are, I'm using you on a regular basis. So the other thing I want to touch base on are thank yous. It's very important for title companies to know that we are appreciated for giving you business, and we appreciate you for accepting the business and getting the job done. So we want to make sure that, and this is in anything you do, if someone does something kind for you, or they help facilitate income or generate business for you, you want to make sure that you're giving them a thank you. I'm not saying taking them out to Albernays, even though that would be lovely. You want to send a card, stop by and say hello. You may do notaries for someone for years, and you may never meet your escrow officer because everything's so digitally formatted now. You want to make sure that you're having an eye-to-eye with that notary and just say hello or thank you.
Antoinette, we have a raised hand.
Oh, I don't see a raised hand, but let's go with it.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear me? This is Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
Hey, thanks so much for your time today. Well, your scenario is actually what happened to me. I'm a brand new notary, and I've been into all of Liz's classes, and I reached out to the title companies, told them a little something about me, posted my little picture. So the other day, I was in the line, drive-through at the credit union. I had been in line for probably 40 minutes. It was 10 cars in front of me, 10 cars behind me. I got a call from one of the title companies that I had reached out to. She says, hey, I was like, oh my God, hi. She says, I was reaching out to see if you could do a notary signing like now. And I was like, now? She was like, yeah. And then I said, well, where is it? It was 45 minutes away. And she says, an older guy, and that's the time frame. And I thought, I wanted to do it, but it was no way possible. Okay. And so I don't want to lose my brand new relationship with her, but I said, there's no way I could even get there in 30 minutes because it was outside of my travel distance. So okay. How would you have handled that?
Okay. For me, like I'm saying, for me, I would prefer if you say, and guys, you can use this verbiage. It may work, it may not. It works for me. I would always say, currently, I'm doing another closing. I am not available until. That way, you give that escrow officer time. If they want to use you, they can schedule that seller or that buyer and work around each other's schedule. It's very important that we work together, okay? If you were at the bank and you were in line, we all get that. We all have lives and we all have things we have to do. I think the response should have been, let me check really quick, I'll give you a call back. You call back with a time that you can do it. Because okay. You don't know if that was just dropped in that note. You don't know if that was just dropped in that escrow officer's hands. So yeah, they're calling you because you're first on the list. And now that first person is out, okay, who do I call next? Mm-hmm. You were the preferred, obviously. You were the preferred. So you have to think about it in relationship form, okay? Mm-hmm. They called you first. So I would just say, hey, just give me a couple of minutes. Let me check my schedule. I'll call you right back.
I did Google the address to let her know that it was no way possible that I could get there within that time frame. So I at least tried, you know?
Yes. I think this is the one key thing you have to do. Step away from the situation, gather your thoughts, and then come back with an answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that helpful?
It does. It helps a lot. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Thank you, Tanya. We have Sherry Drake has a question. She has her hand up.
Yes, thank you. Unfortunately, I never get to speak to the title agents. All of my work is coming through signing services.
Correct.
So
Okay.
I don't have an opportunity to ever put myself in front of them. When I have tried to just drop by different title offices to introduce myself, their receptionists, their gatekeepers always put me off and say, hey, we decide based in the corporate office on who their notaries are. So no, you can't come here and solicit any kind of business from us.
Okay.
And, mine is all from signing services. And I wanted to say to Tanya, I think what she's saying is when you can't take the signing, don't tell them anything personal, like, sorry, I'm grocery shopping. Just say, I'm unavailable. I'm so sorry, but I might be available in an hour from now. Just don't tell them the personal thing. Don't say my kid's
Right.
sick or anyway, okay, so all my business is from signing services, so I'd like advice on that. Thank you.
So this is a recommendation for all notaries out there that want the personal connect, because if you've been to the title companies and the gatekeeper saying no, unfortunately, a lot of us don't get the opportunity to work. You want to work with the bigger companies. I get that. Everybody wants to work at the Chicago. Everybody wants to close for Fidelity. Everybody wants to sign for Stewart and First American, those places, because they do a lot of volume. But you guys don't understand that some of the smaller title companies need you more. So step out, gather a list for the smaller companies that maybe you don't hear about. There's a lot of land title offices. There's a lot of WFG offices, smaller title companies, Westcor, Valero, that do volume. They do volume, you just don't hear about them. So my suggestion would be go through your local, I don't want to say phone book, because I mean, did I just age myself with phone book? I did. Sorry. I just got one the other day, just so you know. But check your Google or however you do your searches and look for the smaller title companies and see if you can touch base with some of the smaller ones first. Being a preferred notary at a smaller title company will bring income.
Who's not muted? I can't see the whole thing.
It will guarantee you income. So my suggestion would be start with the smaller title companies where maybe it could be a 4-man office, or because look, guys, everybody wants to go on vacation. Somebody's out sick. Anytime a smaller title company, if there's one person missing, it is hard on the rest of the employees. So you want to make sure that you're starting with a good relationship where there's minimal amount of people. Because like Miss Liz has said, we love Miss Liz. We love Miss Liz. We have a personal relationship with her. Miss Liz is going to be our go-to for you guys. She sends us a list of people. Hey, these are some people I know in this area. Put them on your list. So we just keep adding people to our service area. The other thing is this. If you are a signing agent, and you say in your portfolio that you work Tarrant County, but you don't go to Fort Worth, you need to let the title company know. If you are a signing agent in Dallas, but you don't go outside of the Dallas perimeter, Mesquite, Wiley, Murphy, Richardson, places like that, let the title company know, because typically, if we don't have an office in that area, we're going to send you to the outlining areas. If you don't service those areas, we need to know. I don't want to call you if you don't close in Waxahachie. You say you close in Ellis County, but you may not close in Waxahachie, those things like that. If your mileage availability doesn't suit the parameters of the order, if you have a friend that does notaries, you share and share alike. I can't do it, but I know a notary that can. So you want to do that. I see somebody, I have a question. Oh, I missed it. It was quick.
No, you've got Sherry Drake, and then we have Jennifer next. Jennifer put a message in the chat. So Sherry has her hand up.
Okay, I have been trying to Google and find which title companies are the small ones, but on their websites, they all want to act like they are big and huge and do everything for everyone. None of them say, oh, we're just a small 4-person office. So I find it very hard to find who are the small ones and who are the big nationwide ones.
I'm going to tell you how.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll mute now.
If you look for local title companies, are you in Texas?
No, I'm in a suburb of Phoenix.
Okay. So what you want to do is you want to go Google title companies.
Mm-hmm.
If you put the title company in your Google search and they have more than one location, let's say they have 4 locations, they're probably a bigger company.
Okay.
Typically, title offices, newer title offices, are going to be in the bigger cities, and they're going to have one in every major city. Okay. My title company is a smaller title company. We have an office in the north and we have an office in the south. So our goal is, hey, we need some northern notaries and we need some southern notaries. Just FYI, I don't like to do closings anymore. I've gotten too old, but those are the people that we're looking for. So that is a good indication of whether a title company is huge or small. If they are an affiliate of, they're probably a smaller title company. You have a lot of title companies that are fee attorneys. I would not suggest fee attorney offices. That's just my personal opinion. Ms. Liz may give you something different. I don't suggest fee attorney offices because a lot of times those fee attorneys have notaries that they use primarily, and they're probably using the bigger company that they are attached to, their service. So they probably go through SnapDocs or BankServe. I know Chicago goes through BankServe and BankServe only, unless you were preferred notary as an individual that they got from BankServe. So those are some other things that you can do. Reach out, send your resume. If you're on SnapDocs, send your stats. Send your stats. I always look for the notaries. Hey, you've closed 110 and you have good reviews. Okay, I'm using you. You know, I'm going to pick you. Me personally, I do not use SnapDocs. I just try to find people in my local area. So you have to put your feet to the pavement, guys, when you want to get business. What's the next question, Ms. Liz?
Could I just add something before we go on? We've got 2 questions. We got one that's in the chat and one that's got hand raised, but I just wanted to add a couple of things. Like
Okay.
to Sherry, for instance, when you say you go to these title companies and you get stopped at the front desk because the receptionist is the gatekeeper. So you got to get past that receptionist. So you know, oftentimes people want to discount the receptionist because they're trying to get to that escrow officer. My recommendation is that you want to smooth with that receptionist. If you do not get past that receptionist, you're not going to get to an escrow officer. So when you take, you go in there a couple of times, you're taking little goodies, you're giving it to the receptionist. Then you come again, you're giving it to the receptionist, but you're leaving your card each time. And then you just run in and say, I don't have time to talk today, but I just wanted to drop a little something off for you. How are you today? You doing okay? Well, ain't nobody gonna let you in right now in COVID-19.
Well, that's right.
No, you just send a little card or something. Say, introduce yourself. And you can Google these companies, and oftentimes you will be able to determine how many, if nothing else, you go to the Better Business Bureau. Oftentimes that will tell you how many employees they have.
Oh,
so
thank
you
you.
find out that you've got 5 escrow officers in there, you take enough little goodies for 5 people.
Oh,
the
that's a
other
good
thing
idea.
is you got to
learn their names. If you know the gatekeeper's name, she will never know that you're a stranger. I know because I was the receptionist. So if you came in and you said, well, hey, Antoinette, I'm thinking, how do I know you? But you bring me a coffee or you bring me a little treat. I'm like, where do I know her? Oh, it would almost prompt dialogue because I don't really remember or I don't know. The other thing, Ms. Liz, you said it. When you Google these title companies, every title company nowadays has a website. Every title company. You can go on and look at their staff. Everybody pretty much has a headshot. Facebook is going to be your friend.
Yep. Facebook, another good one. The other thing I would share with Sherry is that in this business, I don't know if you have a sales background or not, but you think about how many no's you will get before you get to yes. So let's just say you've got 10 no's. That 11th attempt, maybe your yes. Well, hell, that's all you need to get you started, is that first yes. And you're on your way.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
So you can't be afraid to hear no, but you look for ways to overcome the obstacle. So it's like, okay, Antoinette will tell you no today, and it's because I have my preferred list. I'm going through my preferred list. This is my number one. This is my number one notary. Well, guess what? That number one notary got to go on vacation sometime.
That's
so
right.
You want to drop your card or drop a little goodie and say, hey, when Liz goes on vacation, you know, I'll be so happy to help you out. Not that I'm trying to steal Liz's business, not that you could, because it ain't mine if I didn't get it. But you're there to support. It's about what you can do for Antoinette. It's not about what Antoinette can do for you, what you can do for Antoinette. And then you're going to do such a bang up job that she's going to keep calling you. So now, Antoinette, question.
Well, I had one comment for Sherry, because I think this is very, very, very good information tonight. Sherry, like Miss Liz, it just takes one time. And when you get in there, Sherry, you better blow them away. When I tell you knock it out the park, you better come with your A game. If you have to check those docs 4 times before you drop them, that's what you do, because you want them to know, hey, when I have a closing in that area, let me call this lady. I have a list of notaries that I've had for 10 years that I will call when I have something in that area. I have notaries out of the state that I call if I have somebody closing near Phoenix or near, in Washington State. So don't think that you won't get the opportunity. It's what are you going to do when you get the opportunity?
What are you going to do?
Oh, that's great. Thank you, ladies. And I just thought of something too. Since so many notaries are not working right now due to COVID-19, I am working. It might be a good time to send them emails saying, hey, I'm here. If if you're short of notaries or if you can't find anyone, I am working.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Good ideas you have.
We have a question from Jennifer. It says, what is a good way to let title companies know we want to work during COVID? I think Sherry just gave a little bit of that. Most offices are closed also. If we get an application and fill it out, what would be a good way to introduce yourself in email that you've been approved? I'm not sure what get an application means, Jennifer.
Maybe commission, maybe the commission.
I don't mind explaining. So I have been going to some title companies in my area that are open, and I'm in California. So I dropped off a care package to let them know, hey, I'm a new notary in the area. Here are some goodies to keep you guys healthy. They said, oh, great, yeah, we're open. Please fill out an application. So the receptionist sent me an application, and I fill it out. I've been approved, but I'm just wondering what's a great way to introduce myself to let them know that I was approved for your application, be a preferred notary. What's next? I guess that's the part where I'm stuck with little.
I think you get the manager's email for that branch. I think you send a lovely email to them, a sincere email just stating, I'm here if you guys need me. I'm available. Should you need anything, these are my hours. I work Saturdays or Sundays, whatever your criteria is. Send a genuinely true email about what your availability is. I am doing signings for COVID-19 and would love to do a few for you should you need me. let that be your go-to. Let that be your go-to.
Along those same lines,
Thank you.
Antoinette, a question. Thank you so much. A question came up. It's Regina who said, is it okay to let title companies know you're not signing right now because of COVID-19?
Absolutely.
Would that be held against me if I'm not going to sign during COVID?
No, it would not. It would not. I would rather you take care of yourself first, because I don't know your family structure and we want you to be safe. Just FYI, Liz Head kindly told me that she wasn't doing no closings outside no office, just like that. She said it just like that, and y'all know she did. But if you need me to sign in the office, I will be more than happy to come in. And I thought, well, who she thinks she is? But it worked out.
Liz did.
It worked out. Because you know what Miss Liz did? She set a parameter and we worked around her parameter. Because I can't put myself in jeopardy, because I can't be out. I can't be out. So Miss Liz, really, she came through for us for cash outs that needed to sign in the office. And then we sent things out to, some signing services and things like that. But ultimately, what we wanted to do was make sure that we were protected, because again, we are a small title company. If one of us is out, hands down, we're done. We're done. Two people can't handle our volume. So we look to you guys for that assistance and that help. I know that I just saw another question.
Yes, you got, when doing a resume for these title companies, should it be solely?
Nope, don't send a company a resume. Don't send a title company a resume. Do not. It is going in the trash, just so you know.
Oh, I thought I heard you say earlier to send them a resume.
No, send them your criteria. Where you go at, your mileage, what area you go to, what service area you want, what your hours are. If you don't want to do it, I have had clients close at 10 o'clock at night at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. I had to find a notary to do that. So if 10 o'clock doesn't work for you, then I need to know what your time frames are. I don't mind you guys sending me things, and I'll look over them and say, oh, no, take that off. Take that off. Don't put that on there. So I don't mind doing that for you guys as well. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about really quick.
One second.
Title office.
Antoinette, we have a hand rose for a while. Lone Star Notary.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And we got 3 messages that are waiting, 3 new questions that are waiting also. You're going to be busy, so.
Hello, Antoinette. Thank you for joining us. Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
You've actually covered both of my questions. Liz actually covered one of them, having that relationship with the front desk. And I've heard that before. Is like, that person is somebody that reaches out to all of the escrow officers. So having a relationship with them is just as important as the escrow officer and anybody in between there.
Right.
But one of the other things, and you kind of covered some of it, is what do we do when we're trying to introduce ourselves to an escrow officer? What are the things that we should be sending, like a resume? You said not to, but what are the things that you guys are looking for? If I send a package, say, hey, I'm just trying to introduce myself, what is it that you're looking for as an escrow officer that's important that I should send, or to let you know that I'm available to prove myself? I've got less than 10 signings under my belt, so I'm brand new to all of this. So I want to be able to introduce myself more.
Okay. So the first thing I would definitely say is confidence. When you walk into a title office, you better be confident and you better act like you know what's going on. Because I'm not paying, and if I'm being honest, I'm not paying attention to somebody that's fumbling over their words, because I don't have time. And I'm not being ugly, but I am I'm a little bit more straightforward. Sorry.
That makes sense. So
I need you to be confident. And I was getting to all of this other stuff. So professionally dressed. How would you dress when you're going to a signing? Now, I know we're in a state where everything's kind of casual. No, do not show up to my signing with jeans and a t-shirt. I don't want to see tattoos, even though you may have some, because I don't mind those. But when you're going into someone's home, you want to make sure that you represent that title company. okay? You are an extension of me. So with that being said, me and my company. So with that being said, you wanted to have those things. Time management. You want to make sure when you're going to meet these escrow officers, I always say take something small, a Starbucks coffee. I always say if you can get in with the manager of that branch, and they use you, you're in. You're pretty much in. The other thing is you want to make sure that you are facilitating transactions when you get them at 100%. At 100%. Because I've been known to call my customer to make sure that you did your job. So be as accurate as possible. But I think you're on a good start. And if you want to show them how many signings you've done and how great they've been and referrals, it's nothing wrong with a referral from a customer. So do that as well.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
Antoinette, there are a couple other questions. And Stephanie, I keep muting you and you keep unmuting yourself. I think you've just come on. So if you could just leave yourself on mute until you're ready to ask a question, that would be great. The next question here is from Rosalind. Should we wear masks and gloves when we visit?
I would say yes.
Okay, the next,
who are we visiting?
When you visit the title companies, is that what you're talking about, Rosalind? Well,
I would definitely say yes for signings because I think the mandate is going to come out that the title company. So I wouldn't be offended, but I can't speak for everybody. If you wore a mask and gloves and you came to visit me, I would not be offended because I'm going to wear a mask and gloves when I shake hands with you. I wouldn't be, but I can't speak for everybody.
Thank you for that question. And the next one is Tammy Allen. Your thoughts about if you get a signing through a signing service for a local title company, instead of dropping off to FedEx, you drive the documents to the office and drop off a card. Not that I'm trying to undercut the signing service, but I'm showing that I will go the extra mile.
Well, who was that? Tammy?
Tammy, from Florida.
Tammy from Florida. I love Florida. So Tammy, I'm not trying to undercut the signing service. Why not? If you can forge the personal relationship, you should definitely try to do that. Now, I'm not saying go above. This could be their personal signing company, and that's fine. But it does not hurt you to go in and put your best foot forward and show them that you are capable of doing the job at a capacity over 100 and letting them know you can get it done. Now, just so you guys know, as notaries, if you're going to do it at 100, you're going to have to do it at 100 every time because that's our expectation. If you show me what you're made of once, I'm going to expect it every time. So you can't show up the next time with missing notaries and things like that. We want to see that you have the capability of me turning my business over to you and you can get it done. So I would definitely say show up. If you can drop the docs off, do so. If not, just do it the way they requested it in the order.
Antoinette, I've got something that I would like to share about, a couple of things I'd like to share about that. Of course, I used to do this. I don't do it anymore. I should. But whenever I would send a package back, I would include my card. Now, we as signing agents have to be careful that we are not undercutting the signing service or the hiring company because it's a fine line. A lot of the signing services, their people have relationships with those title companies. Well, the thing that you have to be concerned about as a signing agent is that if you are too forward, then that title company, that escrow officer, whose best friend is sitting at that signing service, who gave you that order, is now going to pick up the phone and tell Sally Sue that you just poached. So there's a fine line. So I encourage you to be careful with that.
Very much so.
The second thing is, most of you know that I am a SnapDocs user almost 100%. The title companies that I have direct business with, they came from SnapDocs, from a SnapDocs hiring company, even NPR. NPR was with BNN Services. One day, Najeri London picked up the phone and said, Liz, will you work direct with me instead of going through BNN? You know, I said, hell yeah, I'm there. But see, they came to me. Right. I did not go to them. So all I say is be careful. I probably didn't say hell yeah, because I didn't know her at that time. I probably just said, yes, ma'am. But all I'm saying is that make sure.
That's right.
You got to be careful, because you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose.
Use your service capability. Use your judgment. And I'm going to tell you, from one person to another, if I can get that relationship and I do a fantastic job for them, I'm going to sell myself. I sell myself, but Miss Liz is right. Definitely use judgment and don't undercut, but make sure that they know who you are.
Right.
Who you are at the end of the day. The signing service may be great and they may use them all the time, but who are you? Who did you present to them? And make sure, leave the card. I think that's a great idea, Ms. Liz. Do you know, in all these years, I've never received a card in my closing packages from anyone. Not a business card. So you got to think about little ways to do that without being overly bold about, hey, I want your business, because subtlety does work as well. But be bold in yourself, knowing that you have the capability of getting that business and keeping it.
Antoinette, you never got a card from me?
You always come in the office. I just have your cards anyway.
Yeah, look, y'all, she got a bunch of cards. I got a stand in there with my cards in it.
It's a whole stand. Liz Hay. I love it.
You have a couple more things on here in the chat. You got a lot of stuff in the chat. Y'all, I'm getting tired of reading. Y'all have to start talking.
Hi, Keisha.
Tammy wants to know, you can send your signing agent profile from NNA. Okay. Then Tammy, I've done that. They're just, Lone Star. Tammy, I've done that, and now I have a direct relationship with Chicago Title. So nice. It works. You just got to know how to work it, right, Antoinette?
Yes, ma'am.
And then Keisha said, thank you for picking up that question, Richard. Roslyn, everyone, the title company, I'm not sure. And then Tammy says, yes, ethics. I've done it, but it's a thin line. Definitely a thin line.
Very much so.
Romika said, if the signing service is used as only the platform and we negotiate directly with the title company, could we then include our card?
Read that one more time.
She said, this is Romika. Romika said, if the signing service is used as only the platform and we negotiate directly with the title company, could we then include our card?
Well, I will tell you this. I think the platform is used because this is only in my experience. I have been asked how many notaries we use a month, and we're not allowed to use their platform because we don't have the minimum amount of requests monthly. So they send us a list. They've sent us a list of notaries that we can call directly. We don't have to go through the service. I hate to say the service because some of you may do a lot of business with them. So I have a list of a lot of notaries that I can call directly. So that may be the question that she's asking, if I'm hearing it correctly. So you want to make sure that if they're just using the service to find you guys and it's not going through that portal, definitely send them your card when you finish signing them. And also put, for instance, when you load your documents to the company's portal, when you upload them, include a card. Make it the last page, or you know, put a little note in there. If you ever need anything, let me know. You know, I'm here.
Make it the first page. Antoinette, why not make it the first page? If you're scanning back or whatever, make it the first page so they know that it's coming from you.
That's right. How will they know? How will they know who you are?
And Sherry Drake, because we got a lot more messages on here, but Sherry Drake had her hand up again.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to ask you, if you do get two things about direct to title. One, if they say to you, what do you charge for a purchase? What do you charge for a refi? I'm not sure what to say because I'm not sure how much the signing services are taking out and then just leaving the rest to us.
That's something to talk to Liz Head about.
Okay, and then the next, then I had another question, and I don't remember what it is. So I'm in a major metropolitan area, so I am asking about what do we tell them we charge when they ask us.
Yeah, I would definitely talk to Miss Liz because she knows all the ins and outs. When you're in a different state, I'm not quite sure what the fees are. I definitely say don't sell yourself short, but don't get crazy. Don't get crazy. Only because, you know, if you're too high, they won't hire you. But don't lowball yourself either.
So
what I say about that, Sherry, is number one, it really ain't our business what the signing service charges the title company. That is not our business. What you focus on is how much you're going to charge. Now, that is a question that comes up so frequently, and I would not have time to go into that here on Antoinette's live. But Sherry, are you in my are you in our Facebook group? Are you in my community?
I don't think so. What is your Facebook group?
It is I drew a blank.
EC Head Mobile Notary Training Workshop.
No, EC Head Notary Training Workshop. Mobile isn't in there.
Okay, EC Head, H-E-A-D?
H-E-A-D?
Notary Workshop?
Can you?
Notary Training, I'm gonna type it in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
But and the reason I'm directing you there is that I did a spreadsheet.
Oh.
I can't type and talk. But I did a spreadsheet just outlining what to consider when you're trying to figure out your fees, because you have to be realistic. So what I did was just to calculate the mileage, the paper, the this, and it's something that I just came up with because everybody was always asking, and you know, what they should charge. And then a lot of people on some of these groups are, in my opinion, somewhat ridiculous. I wouldn't work for under $200. I wouldn't go for under this. They pay me $300. They lying. They straight up lying. Because you gotta also figure what you're doing. And it's like, what do you make on your job right now? What are you making $100 an hour on your job right now? If you have a job right now, are you making $100 an hour? And if you're not, Tamika just put the actual link out there. I couldn't get that done. But if you're not, why would you expect somebody to pay you $100 an hour now?
Right.
But you also don't want to have to drive too far. You have to look at what's eating up your money. But if you want to be a one and done, and especially in the environment that we're in now, notaries are needed so desperately. You ask somebody for $300, you may get it, but guess what? You are a one and done, because they're not going to call you to do anything else. But if they're in a crunch right now, and then some people say, oh, it's month end, it's time for you to increase your prices. No, hell it ain't. That's the time you do not increase your prices, because that's when you are going to add value, and you want those signings throughout the month, not just that month end.
And
So,
I will promise you, and Ms. Liz, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to promise you.
Yeah, I was on the soapbox. It's okay.
I know, I saw it. If you stick around until the end, I promise you, it's so worth the wait on the other side, because the end of the month is stressful. I can tell you, I typically need a day off at the beginning of the month because I'm so stressed because of the end of the month. So just understand that if you work with us during the end of the month, I promise you, you are probably going to see more of us during the next month, because that's the time that we need you the most. So increasing your fees, teaching people, oh, well, it's COVID-19, let me add an extra $50 to my notary. That's a one-way ticket for you never to get hired by me, ever. Because we are all in the same situation. We are all trying to work together. I want to send you business. I want to make sure that you and your family are taken care of, but I also want to make sure that you respect my job as well, and you understand that if you treat me well, obviously, I'm going to continue to send you business. So the other thing I wanted to mention before, because we're running out of time, guys, if you need to use a title office, it doesn't hurt to call, but Ms. Liz and I mention this all the time. With COVID-19 going on, if you go into a closing office, please, please, please clean up after yourself. You don't know who was in there prior to you. You don't know who's coming in after you, okay? They could have all-day signings. If you're going to rent the space, please make sure that you have the funds available at that time. Please, please, please. It is a surefire way to never, ever, ever be able to use that office again. A lot of times we have customers that come in and they leave stuff everywhere, or you have a family that came in and the kids have go-go juice and chips and cheese crackers and just stuff and goo everywhere. That's still our office. Please respect it as such. And if you get the opportunity to come in someone's office or use someone's office, treat it like your own. We want to come to a clean space as well. I will tell you guys this, Ms. Liz is very good about, even when it's during the day, she's disinfecting stuff, and I'm just like, if you don't get out of here, we got this. But it's just respect for each other, and I appreciate that about her. So I wanted to just share that with you. So also, making sure that your time management is really, don't overstack yourself. If you're doing notaries all the time and you're a go-to notary for signing services, please don't overstack yourself. I promise you, you will break down, and money isn't everything. It is not everything. I would rather have quality work than quantity all day. So just make sure that you guys keep that in mind when it comes to the professional side of notaries and helping us get these deals done. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But we are all in it together. Guys, if you ever need me or you have questions, Ms. Liz has my information. I will have her forward my information to you guys. If you want me to look at your what you have written that you want to send out to title companies, I'll be more than happy to do that as well. Ms. Liz obviously is amazing. So I want you guys to really, really listen. And her classes that she offers, hands down, best teachers ever. So I want you guys to know that. Sign up, get on the webinars, get on those classes that she's doing weekly, monthly, refresh, because TDI is changing a lot of guidelines. Texas is changing a lot of guidelines. So we want to make sure that we are keeping up with the changes with COVID-19 and the things that are being mandated as well. other options that are being offered as well. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that information and have that readily available. Also, start looking at the governor's website, the comptroller's website. Guys got to do that. If this is going to be your craft, you better know it. Get educated on it. Ms. Liz, do you have any more questions?
Oh, girl, you got a lot of questions on here.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I'm a newbie. How many signings should be? Okay, I'm a newbie. How many signings should we do before reaching out to the title company directly?
I would say you need to have a class first. You need to go to signing, 101. Second, I think you need to be with the service for at least a month or two or a quarter. So you are clear on what documents look like, what they are, and what you're signing, and what your personal not relationship, but your conduct when you go to someone new, because everybody's different. I promise you, until you have a bad signing, you haven't done a signing.
That's true.
Until you have a bad one, you haven't done one. I have been in one for 3 hours before, so just understand, and that is as a escrow officer at someone's home. So just know that. I would say at least a quarter, 3 months of signings through a service, Ms. Liz, and taking classes and refreshers, I think is a good rule of thumb, especially if you're getting business. If you're getting business with the service, hey, keep getting it. Keep getting it and still start reaching out to title companies in the interim.
We have some more questions. Thank you so much. We have some more questions, but we also have, we had 2 raised hands. I lost one, but Stephanie has her hand up. Stephanie, go ahead.
Steph.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. All right. Hi. And I put it in the chat. So my question is, how much, so I'm trying to find a title company, you know, where I can, if I needed to use their space,
Yes.
I wanted to know what's the average rate that title companies will say, I'll charge you X amount of dollars to use their space. Someone may have asked it earlier. I was trying to join in and I went to the Facebook page, went to my email, and I was driving. So someone may have already asked that question, but.
No worries.
Okay, what's the typical rate?
Where are you located?
I'm in Dallas. I've been to Miss Liz's class.
Yes.
I live in Frisco.
Nice.
And so I've been having some good success with the signing agents. So I'm feeling more comfortable. I did a couple, Miss Liz. I didn't have to call you. I was like, oh my God.
Look at you, all grown up.
I know, right? All grown up. Well, I'm gonna say it ranges between $40 to $65, and I want you guys to be prepared for that as well. Some title companies may say, hey, you know, if you do my signing, if you come and do my signing, I'll let you have your next one. If you need to do one here, you can use my office for, you know, less than that. So it just depends on the title office. A lot of title offices invoice you for the time that you use the office. A lot don't. I just want you to be prepared when you get there. So be prepared to pay them in full when you get to the signing office. So I would just suggest asking, hey, if I use your office, what would be the fee for using that office? I've heard between 40 and, you know, whatever. Don't give them a range.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just obviously, you know, you're using their space for an hour.
Right.
You know, just make sure that you know, the amount of time that you're using it is adequate to the funds that they're receiving. You know, just be mindful of that. And also, just know, when you get in with a good title company, they may let you use their title office all the time.
Okay. And you said they may want to barter. So do you mean they want me to do their titles for free?
No, not for free, but they but if maybe you close a deal for them and they say, hey, well, next time, you know, don't worry about paying to use our office. But, you know, sometimes they'll do that. It will just depend on the title office. And I can't speak for everyone. I can't speak for everyone. But a lot of times if I call last minute to one of my notaries and I say, hey, I got a closing, I already got an office plan for you. The next time you need to use my office, it's free. Especially if it's not.
What you have to also remember, guys, is that the fee for the office is reimbursable. So that gets added to the fee that you're getting paid from the hiring company. So let's say that you have a signing that's $100 and the room fee is $40. Then you're paying that $40 up front, but you're going to get $140 from the hiring company. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I didn't know how that works.
Yeah, that's how that works. But yeah.
And what's next?
Thank you, Stephanie. Next one is thank you, Antoinette, with an exclamation point. Wonderful presentation and valuable information. And they appreciate us sharing this information. And Stephanie, you got another question? Your hand is still up. Okay, so we just talked about what to pay the title company. That was
no, I don't have another question. I don't know how to take your hand down.
Okay. Jennifer said, thank you, Miss Antoinette, Miss Liz. I'm on a way. She's on her way to a signing at 6 o'clock.
I love it.
Love to work with you all if you have signings in the San Francisco area. She said she will drive. Thanks again. Then Valerie said, is your office allowing space to rent right now? Most title companies are not right now.
We do allow space to rent in our Dallas North office, and depends on how many people are in our office, in our Southern office in Arlington. We are trying to practice social distancing just for the safety of all parties involved, guys. And we also want to make sure that if you can, without being rude or curt, let the clients know that we need to make sure the closings only contain the signers, no additional parties. And that's just to keep everyone safe. So make sure that you're saying that or asking that.
Good question. Next one is from Tammy, and she's apologizing if this question was asked already. But how do you feel about a notary calling and asking questions about specific documents as to how you specifically want them executed? I never want to make the wrong decision. Also, if it's a lender-specific document, is escrow okay to call lender directly? Many title companies are so buried on certain docs. Example, the notice of right to cancel. I need 3 originals or I need 1 original. Hard to discern when to bug escrow.
This is a hard one because you really should be calling the lender. In my closings, I always have the lender's number readily available because, again, you're not explaining documents to anyone. I'm not explaining documents to anyone. I do it only because I've been in the business for so long and I know what they mean because I've read through them a million, a jillion, gazillion times. So I would always suggest, if you're doing a signing, make sure you have the escrow officer's number and also make sure you have the lender's number, the loan officer's number, or a processor that works with the loan officer. Those should be included on the order. If you get an order and it doesn't, you need to tell the service. If you're using a service, can I please get their number just in case the clients ask? I'm gonna tell you something. When you do that, I look at you differently. And I look at you differently because any signing agent that will ask that question prior to going out tells me you know what you're doing. That tells me, okay, if I get over here and they're difficult, I know exactly who I'm calling. This is a notary question, or this is the escrow question, this is the lender question. And then you guys, you always have Miss Liz to call. You always have Miss Liz if something's different. I prefer that you call the lender if it's in reference to the documents. Now, don't abuse the lender. Don't keep calling because they won't answer. But we want to make sure, guys, I know it's last minute sometimes. Look through those documents before you get there. If you can, if you're in your car, stop real quick and scroll through them. Hey, is this one I have questions on? And start calling while you're in the car. Hey, this document, I've never seen this before. A lot of you know, if you're doing signings right now, there's a new COVID-19 impact form, Ms. Liz. We saw those, like, I think they started issuing those the end of last month. That's a new document that people are now having to sign. So you want to familiarize yourself with documents, but if you have questions, it's definitely a lender question. It's definitely a lender's job to explain that specific document to their client if they have questions.
Okay, very good. Thank you. The next one is from, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Taka Dorman. She said, I've been told to say I charge whatever is on the settlement statement.
Who are you telling that to? Who's asking you about your charge? Maybe she's answering the young lady's question, Sherry's question from earlier.
Is that what you were doing? Let me just tell you this. If you're talking about you're going to charge whatever is on the settlement statement, it's too late at that point.
Right.
The settlement statement is what's outlining all of the charges. So if you're working direct with the title company, you've already given them what your charge is going to be. Now, if you're working with the signing service, then again, that's not what's on that settlement statement as far as the notary fee, and sometimes there'll be another form in there that will show the fee that the signing service is charging. That ain't your business. You have established your charge. And if you see $300 on that, you're getting $150. And you see $300 on that settlement statement, you accepted that $150. It's not your business that they're getting $300. And you didn't have to do anything but answer yes to a text message. You didn't. It's not like you were marketing to a title company. You spent no marketing dollars. Let them people have the money they need to run their business. You decide what you're going to charge.
You know your worth. You know your worth.
You know your worth. It ain't your business how much they get. Now, the next one is from Maxine. Maxine said, thank you. She said, thanks to us for great information. Taka said, yes, what she said.
I love it.
iPhone said, you had an amazing presentation. Tammy, please share. Okay, we'll get you Antoinette's information. How can we'll get you her information. Then Maisha said, I need help with maybe shadowing a signing. I'm a newbie. You're not going to be able to shadow anyone now while we're in COVID-19 because we're minimizing the number of people who are in a room. So perhaps after we're out of COVID-19 and you've gone through your training, then that may be a possibility. iPhone said, thanks for all we do. Maisha, sorry, is anyone available for a shadow in the next 2 weeks? Like I said, it ain't gonna happen right now. Sherry, this is a relationship business. If you're arrogant and tell them you won't work for less than 300, are you going to, or you gouge them during COVID-19? You're not building respectful mutual relationships with title. I have done 70 signings and still sometimes have a question for title when I come across a document that is confusing that I've not seen before. And y'all remember, every company is different. Every package is going to be different. So you will see different stuff. Rosalind said, thank you. Alice, absolutely, this is great. Okay, Maisha, yes, this is great. Thank y'all. Yay, thank God, good to know. About the office being open, that was Valerie. Sherry, usually the lender contact information is on the last page of the CD. Exactly. Tammy said, go, thank you, yes. And Antoinette, Jesse said, Antoinette, you may have said it, but I want to emphasize reviewing docs before closing and be prepared to ask those questions to the lender or title company before closing. Alice, I heard shadowing was not allowed ever. Is that not correct? You are absolutely correct. Shadowing is not allowed because you're dealing with people confidential information. However, there's always an exception. So I have one company that will allow me to have someone shadow me. And when that happens, I also have to get the approval from the customer. But like I said, we're not doing that anymore at all right now. So you can, that's just not going to happen. And Tamika has put Antoinette's, all of her information out here in the chat. So yes, this class was so informative. I'm so excited to get started. Now, keep in mind, y'all, this is not a class. This is just a presentation, just giving y'all some information that you can use. Very helpful, great June. I think we're to the end of the comments now. Somebody said, wake up, pray, start your day. I love that, love it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, so, and
how many people do we have online right now?
You had 52, and we're at 50 right now. This is the largest group, I think, that we've had, Antoinette. So everybody wants that title information, but we probably, don't get so excited now. Don't get so excited. Leave that for me. But Antoinette.
Yes, ma'am.
There's so much interest. Break the bank out. Tell her she needs to come back because we didn't finish, did we? Don't we need her to come back? Don't we need her to come back?
Well, so Miss Liz and I talked about some things, guys. Don't hang up. So you always have to stay to the end. My mother always told me that you better stay to the end because you might miss something good.
You got them all except one person who had to go do a signing, remember?
I love it. I love it. So I'm going to give a gift card away today for 2 people. The first question is going, Miss Liz, I'll let you pick the first question.
Got what you said they were.
I know. She's scared now.
Oh, geez.
Ever seen her scared? She's scared now.
I'm scared. Okay, all right. Okay. What type of refinance is not subject to the 3-day right of rescission, which means they get their money the same day.
It funds the same day.
It funds the same day.
Valerie! Go ahead, Valerie.
How do you know Valerie answered it? I didn't. Oh, there she is. Look at Valerie. Go, Valerie. It is investment.
I knew that one.
It's investment properties, you guys. Valerie came on in.
She did.
No, somebody said HELOCs. HELOCs are, you still got that 3-day right of rescission.
3-day right of rescission, guys.
And then a lot of people answered investment property, but Valerie got it first.
She said, Keisha, something for the newbies, please.
Okay, so, did you write down Valerie, or am I going to have to remember that? Tamika, you going to remember the Valerie one now?
I will.
Okay. And then somebody said, I think that's Mika telling me that I got to talk about the May 16th class.
You do.
Okay. Well, not right now. You're doing your giveaways.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So sorry. Okay. Miss Liz took my question. That was my question earlier. Okay. For this seminar, Zoom meeting, not seminar, they gave you a little bit of information about me. Where am I originally from?
Can I
first? Dang it! It Dang it. Dang it. Who was first, Miss Liz?
Lone Star.
Mika, I love those glasses.
Thank you, darling.
Those are so cute.
I think it was Tammy.
There was somebody.
No, it was Lone Star.
Where's Lone Star? Lone Star, I can't
Now,
find.
Lone Star. Who was picking that Lone Star?
Me, Sebastian, Lone Star.
Sebastian, you are absolutely
It
correct.
was. Look at Mr. Lone Star.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Round of applause for all the participants. We love it. We
Okay.
love it. So if you guys can please forward your personal information, meaning your name, home address, Valerie and Sebastian, to Miss Liz. I'll be sending you both $25 gift cards to somewhere swanky to eat. I don't know.
All right. I think that's awesome. Okay. And then my daughter just told me, she was giving me that message, and she said it was a private message. Well, I didn't see that, but it was to tell you guys about the upcoming class that we have with Workshop 1, which is reviewing the loan documents. So if you're weak on reviewing, understanding those documents, come on and join us on May 16th. And then the following week, we have the advanced class, which is looking at reverse mortgages, cash outs, and HELOCs, because you better get ready for reverse mortgages because they're coming. The other thing you'll want to get ready for are modifications. Modifications is not an animal that you can really teach because it's investor driven, and you can have 3 pages, you can have 10 pages, but they're coming because of COVID-19 and the number of people who've lost their jobs or been furloughed. They're going to get behind with those mortgage payments, and they're going to need to do modifications for forbearance or deferment. So those are not a lot of money, but you sure can't cut your teeth on them, okay? So I encourage you to be ready. Get ready now. Now's a great time. And now's a great time to go out there and start working. But you're gonna do it safely. You must do it safely. Do your mask, do your gloves, do the distance in the signing to stay safe. But at some point, we've got to go back to work. We just have to go back to work.
Right.
So,
and it's not business as usual. So guys, just know it's hard for us to, and Miss Liz knows because we're very cautious, but it's not business as usual for any of us. So if we work together and we're all kind to each other and we use what God gave us, we can get through it. I want you guys to know we're here to support you. Also, I'm just going to make a mention to Miss Liz's class. If she is going to be taking the time to go over the new docs with you guys, be there. The docs are changing for title as well. Not just us giving you the docs and throwing you out there. They're changing for us as well. And a lot of them have to do with the COVID-19 issues and things like that. So we want to make sure that you guys stay on top of that. And you may have packages that have a little bit more, may have 20 extra pages. Be prepared for that as well, because now we have a whole lot of disclosures that are being added to our doc packages. So I suggest that everybody go to the class and the advanced class so she can explain those things for you. Also, this is also going to be an investment time too, as people are losing jobs. We know that with that happening, a lot of people go to foreclosures. I hate it, but it happens. And the people that have the money to lend are the hard money lenders and the investors. So those investment properties are going to be purchased and picked up like that. So be ready for those documents. So Miss Liz has the tools. Hey, check in with her and make sure you got all the knowledge. Get it from her. She's excellent.
Daphne, you can call me and we can talk about what your needs are. And you should have my phone number. Is this Daphne Lewis? You've got my phone number, but yeah, she said she does. And then Jesse wants to caution us to make sure that we are properly removing our gloves and our masks so as not to defeat the purpose.
Right.
Okay. Did I miss anybody?
No, you got them all.
I did? Okay.
Oh,
Then
wait. Stephanie just had one.
Stephanie, you got your hand up. Did she?
Yeah. She may have said that whether or not she was allowing renting of her space, her title company, if we needed a place to rent. Was that what you answered?
Why, yes, I am.
Oh, you
Yes.
are. Praise the Lord. Look at God. Look at God.
See, there was a reason why you were here today.
Thank you, Jesus. The signing company have called me on a couple, and they just called me and say, hey, you've done a lot for us. Do you have a title company? I have something for you. I'm like, dang it, no, I don't.
Yeah.
So now I can let them know. Yes.
Well, you got to remember where she is, though. You got to remember the location.
I'm in Arlington, so I'm in the Arlington branch. But
Antoinette, you need to open up a satellite office in Frisco.
Well, look here now. You got a problem. But I will tell you this though, we do have an office in North Dallas. Just everybody in general, we do have an office in North Dallas. At 635 and 75. If you know of the area, the high five, right there on the corner. So if you have questions, just call. You have my information, text. I do have an opportunity to allow people to sign in that office as well. I'm not limited to just the Arlington office. So
okay, yeah, I'll call you offline then.
Yes, please do. Please don't call me tonight. Call me tomorrow.
Oh no, I won't call you tonight.
Yeah, but yeah. So just,
somebody wants to know if the May 16th class, Maisha, if it's on the Facebook page. The ad is on the Facebook page. And to register, you'll go to the website. And Keisha, love, good health, and blessings to all. I love that. I have one more thing that I would like to share, if that's okay. Can I have another minute?
Yeah, that's it. That's all you get.
We're 22 minutes over, but it's been good. It's been good, right? Right. Look, see, I asked a question and answer. That's what old people do. But anyway, you may have noticed that I mentioned that Antoinette has she's the chief operating officer of Gigi's House, which is a nonprofit for senior citizens. So what I'm going to do tonight is to give Antoinette a $25 gift card towards just I'm going to give it to her nonprofit. So
those things make me weepy. I love stuff.
Oh, go ahead. I want to see you cry. You so tough. Let me see you cry. No, just kidding.
I love seniors. So guys, just so you know, Gigi's House is just something that my spouse and I have been doing for 10 years. We do it out of our own pocket. We give seniors Christmas gifts. Seniors in nursing care facilities, we go there, we take them gifts. Last year, we were able to gift over 100 people with Christmas gifts. Definitely, it's getting bigger and bigger. But we've been just blessed. And I'm telling you, when you are a blessing to someone else, you get your blessings tenfold. And you better understand that is the way he made us to be. He will bless you when you bless others. So if I can pull anyone up, I am going to, and make sure that you receive something in return.
Oh, Tammy wants you to send a link to the Gigi's.
Will do.
And I'll bring you your gift card on Friday. You guys, I have 2 closings at NPR on Friday, so don't y'all be trying to take my room.
I get to see you twice?
Twice.
Oh, Lord, I'm not ready.
You are. Yes, you are. So anyway, I think if no one else has anything else, we're going to let Antoinette get back to her evening. And I just appreciate, because I know what kind of day she had today. She had a very stressful, long day today because there are so many closings that are happening and trying to happen. So I just appreciate her taking the time to be with us this evening to share her knowledge. So I'm going to give you a big old hand clap. Thank you so much. If there are no other questions, and then I am going to be begging Antoinette to come back again, maybe.
Will do.
Yeah, or maybe even popping into one of our classes that we're having.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Miss Liz, before we go, if you can get a list of all the people that participated and their email address, maybe Mika can send them to me. I would love to just email them a little thank you and all that good stuff. Just a kind gesture.
I'll get that to you.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
And somebody did just to point out, I got kind of lost in a couple of things here, and I couldn't figure out no links and nothing like that. And somebody said, my assistant is awesome. Tamika is, let me just introduce her as my assistant / social media. She's my daughter also. But she sets all this stuff up. And we have fights. But she does all of this stuff. She sets everything up for us. And then, of course, when something happens in here, like I was typing in my Facebook page, and, you know, she just went over there and got the link and put it in there. Yeah. I'm in there.
Those darn kids.
Those kids, I tell you. But yeah, she is, I appreciate all she does for EC Head Consulting. She goes above and beyond. I pay her now. Don't get it twisted. I pay her. I couldn't pay her enough for all that she does. You are appreciated, my princess.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Anything else, Miss Liz?
No, baby. I'm ready to go get me some more coffee and a cigarette.
Oh, Lord. Okay. No coffee, no cigarette.
I'm quitting next month. But for now,
you see, we're all in. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you guys so very much.
So much.
Guys, yeah, it was wonderful. Thank you for the questions. You guys just stay safe. Sanitize, pray. It'll be over soon.
It will.
Y'all have a
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, I'm going to end this meeting. I appreciate all of you being here.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.
Hi, y'all.